What is going on, guys? I hope you're having an amazing day. Today, we're going to be looking at Vivek Ramaswamy answers questions from Trump supporters. Basically, Candace Owens and this guy named DC Drano, basically both Trump supporters, right? They're both asking Vivek questions about quotes and things that he said up in the past. They're basically saying, hey, we've heard that you said these things. Have you changed your position on these things, or are you still for these things? Because as you guys know, he used to be, up in the pharmaceutical business and all of that stuff like that, which is in itself very sketchy. We all know this. We all have questions about this. But right here, they are grilling him on immigration, which is very surprising. So basically, I'm very new to politics. If you guys don't know, if you guys are new to the channel, I am very new to politics. I do not know that much. So if you guys have anything to tell me in the comments below about any type of information, feel free to say it, and I will receive it, and I will definitely take it in. But I digress. Let's keep going. Basically, I did not know Republicans did not support legal immigration. I thought that it was only illegal immigration that they did not support. But they actually don't support legal immigration to a degree. Basically, they want a limit on what legally can be, people that come in the country. Basically, I did not know that. And they are grilling Vivek right now on this specific topic. They say, hey, Vivek, you said that you don't want a hard cut limit for people that should enter the country legally. And, when I first heard this, I'm like, wait, what? Do we need a limit for people that enter legally if they actually enter it the proper way? Except apparently they think so. I have a very sneaky suspicion as to why they think that. I know a lot of conservatives that I see, like the Nick Fuentes types. I don't know if his name shall be spoken online, but if it can, hey, I'm saying it right now. Basically, they think that the national identity is white, that it should mostly stay white. The majority should stay white, basically. And they don't like any type of immigration. So I thought that was like a very small percentage of Republicans. Apparently it's a lot. But with that being said, I think I've rambled on enough. Let's see what Vivek has to say about this answer. Let's go.
And one of the things where I think the Republican Party needs to define where we actually stand, there is an anti-legal immigration current among voters. I'm going to be on the debate stage in a month, and if anybody has any qualms with this, I think I'm going to have a real problem with that, because merit-based immigration is one of the fixes to economic growth in this country, effectively saying that we need more high-skilled immigrants to come in, take
not
American jobs,
saying, just say what I said,
to create more profits for capitalism.
The latter part of that's not what I said, though, Rogan. Rogan, I just want to be really fair. I think you mixed a quote with a lot of editorializing you added in the end. So I'm not reading the article, but just be fair and say what I actually said, because up to when you started going off on your own, that's consistent with views that I have. And then you started saying things that are entirely inconsistent with views that I have.
So, Rogan, do you want to just read the quotation of what they said?
It's a little unfair. It's a little unfair because I can tell you what my views are.
Mixing up the quote with my personal editorial. There is an anti-legal immigration current, and then it says in brackets, mood among voters, ... I'm going to be on the debate stage in a month, and if anybody has any qualms with this, I think I'm going to have a real problem with that, because merit-based immigration is one of the fixes to economic growth in this country. End quote.
I think so, yeah.
Sure. So let me explain my position on immigration policy, if I may. Okay.
Yes.
The North Star, and I think I'll start with where we definitely agree, and then I'll go to where we may disagree, and we may not, actually, but let's find out. I believe the purpose of immigration policy, to state the obvious, right? Everybody should agree with this. It is so obvious, but I'm going to say it anyway. The purpose of our legal immigration policy should be to advance the interests of citizens in this country.
Yes.
To advance the interests of the homeland. That should be the purpose of any country's immigration policy, ours included. Because we vehemently probably agree on illegal immigration, I'm not going to spend too much time on that. I favor militarizing the southern border. I favor not just building the wall, but literally relocating the U.S. military there, stop funding for sanctuary cities, cut foreign aid to Mexico, Guatemala, Nicaragua, and so on until they've fixed their southern border. But I suspect we agree there, and so we don't need to dwell on the illegal immigration issue, though militarizing the southern border, I think I'm about as both legally and constitutionally hardline as it gets. Yes. Yeah. And for the record, also, I'm the first candidate who has offered a legal and constitutional basis to go that far, and I stand by it, and I've said I would do it by March 31st, 2025. That's really important. Now let's go to legal immigration, where we may, I'm not sure, but we may have some daylight between us. So what I've said is, and I've said this in countless settings, I favor merit-based immigration, but I have a very clear definition of what merit means. To borrow an expression I've used through this campaign, does that mean a bunch of tech bros in Silicon Valley? No, it does not. We have a massive, diverse set of skills needs in this country. And so it's not just a bunch more tech people going and sitting in Silicon Valley. I would gut the H-1B program, which is a disaster. A, it's a lottery. B, it's not meritocratic. C, it's like a form of indentured servitude that effectively is a lobbying protection to the companies who get to keep the immigrant who comes over, but they can't even work for a different company. That's a product of crony capitalism of lobbying. I would gut that program. But here's what I do think merit means. Merit means two things. Do you have an ability to make skills-based contributions to this country? And do you also have civic commitments to this country? Okay. What does that mean? I would take the citizenship test from the back end of being a citizen, move that to the front end before somebody even gets a visa to enter this country.
That's smart.
You got to know something about that country. This is consistent with what I think of as a hardcore nationalist position of mine, that every high school student who graduates from high school should have to pass that same test. I think part of the problem of why we have deep ingratitude in this country, ingratitude from the Rashida Tlaibs and the Ilhan Omars who come here as immigrants, but frankly, it's an ingratitude that grates on me. If somebody who grew up on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, fifth generation, that hates this country equally as Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar, or AOC for that matter, is the same problem. People don't know something about that country. That's why I favor making English the national language.
Yes.
I think the U.S. is a country founded on ideals, but you have to have a common language to express those ideals with one another. Now, I don't favor a hard, like there's this Tom Cotton bill, and I love Tom Cotton. I don't support the absolute number cap because I think that's sloppy. I think that we have to be much more precise about what we're actually solving for. I'm solving certainly for a revival of national identity. That's what this whole campaign is about. That's what my first and second term in office will be all about. But I think that we have to solve for that national identity grounded in who we are. Revive civic duty. Revive actual civic knowledge about this country. Stop viewing the U.S. as just an economic zone. We're not just that. We're a team of citizens. We're not just a nation of immigrants. As a kid of immigrants, I go out of my way to say this all the time. We're not just a nation of immigrants. We're a nation of settlers. Yes, I am one of those settlers in this country.
Okay,
and I understand that some people may say, oh, you've only been here for one generation where I've been here for 6. Well, I disagree with you because I am as deeply rooted in this country. You try to shake me, you'll have to run through me to try. I am as deeply rooted in this country, more so than many people with ingratitude who take it 7 generations in. Okay. So that may be where we have a debate, and let's smoke that out because I do think that current exists. And you're right, it bothers me. But I'm an American nationalist, and the fact that I'm first generation shouldn't stop me from feeling that way. But on policy, I suspect there's not a ton of daylight between us, but that at least explains to you what my position actually is.
Oh, okay. Now, really quick, before Candace Owens goes, that's a lot to unpack there. I just wanted to wait for Vivek to finish before I actually made my comments. So basically what I'm saying, right, is that he said there's this undertone in the conservative movement, basically, where they do not agree with legal immigration, or at least all aspects of it, which makes a lot of sense, right? You know, it's too easy to get into the country and this and that, right? He said that he's going to put the civics test at the front of the actual, thing, at the front of the actual, process to come into the country, which I think makes a lot of sense, honestly. And he said he's going to make it a lot of things strict, more strict, basically, for them to come into the country, so that we know for a fact that these are going to be productive citizens of the United States of America. What do you guys think about that? In the comments below, let me know. Because for me personally, I think that this is fine. I really don't understand what the problem is with actually, legal immigration. As long as they're not breaking the law, I don't understand the problem. So you guys are really going to have to explain this to me. If you're a conservative and, you disagree with legal immigration to a degree, of course, just let me know. Just let me know in the comments below why. But with that being said, let's keep going. Let's see Candace's response and what's his name again? DC Draino's response. Let's see both of their responses.
Why no cap, Vivek? Why do you think no cap on legal immigration? I think it's a fair question.
Yep. So I think
that was my question as well.
Okay.
So it's like the way I think about the debate about military spending. Is it more or less? No, it's the right kind. Same thing with respect to immigration. So here's a problem that I suspect you guys may agree with me on. It's something I've been vocal on for a long time. Way too much immigration is just chain-based migration. People bringing their parents or other people who aren't really making contributions, but may even contribute cost to this country. I am all in on ending that. But it is a hard fact today that we do have more jobs in this country than we do have people. Talk to any small business, talk to any large business. It's just a fact that that's an impediment to economic growth.
That's a good point.
And so if there are people, here's my view on it. And the problem with the 400,000 or the 200,000 or whatever number we pick is, I think there's a version of the world where we may want less than that. But if there's a version of the world where there's more than that too, who fit the criteria of making honest commitments to this country, not coming here to be an immigrant, coming here to be a settler, coming here to be a settler who knows more about this country and the Constitution and our language and our laws than many people who are third or fourth generation born into this country. If those conditions are met, then I have no problem with those people coming to this country. And what we may find out is that it's fewer than the cap that actually meet that description. It may be more than the cap, but I just think it's a sloppy, low resolution way of doing it versus asking ourselves, what do we care about? We have an erosion of our national identity, no doubt about it. Big part of that is an invasion, literally now an armed invasion. Just look at the pictures from yesterday across our southern border. That's a problem. It's why I'm a hardliner. It's also why I'm a hardliner on bringing the civics test to the visa, gut the H-1B program, end chain migration, which is most of the legal immigration that's useless that we're seeing today is just family members coming over. No, I don't want any of that. I think we need to put an end to it. Asylum, forget about it. Humanitarianism is not the goal of immigration policy. That's why I go back to that first principle. We all agree on this, I think. The purpose of any nation's immigration policy, including ours, should be what advances the interests of the homeland. That's the question. Now, we can disagree about specific policies of which one actually advances American interests, but that's where I'm at, is that I think that there are some ways in which actually there are kinds of merit-based legal immigration that can advance the interests of the homeland. The way we're doing it today absolutely does not, and that's what I would change.
Okay, so people at home can take that or leave.
Okay, basically that was the end of the video right there. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Hold on, let me change this. Okay, what do you guys think? In the comments below, let me know. He's basically saying, hey, that's a very lazy way of looking at things, having a hard limit of how many legal immigrants can come into the country. He said he does not think the problem is the amount, but the quality of the immigrants' personalities. I'm like, you know, I don't want to just talk about them like they're not human beings still, you know, but the quality of the immigrants that are coming in. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Or do you get what he's saying? How about that? Let's be very clear. These are his words, not even mine. I'm just interpreting what he said and just giving it back to you guys, you know, in a digestible way. If I am, I think you guys probably got it anyway. You guys aren't stupid here. But at the same time, I really don't know what else to say about it. I'm really not that informed on this video. I really wanted to make this video to let you guys know that, hey, this is what Vivek thinks. You know, if you guys didn't see this original video because you guys might have not seen it. And basically, what do you guys think about it? I really want to start a conversation about this in the comment section below, because I really want to understand the thought process of why you guys are against legal immigration, or some of you guys, not all, but some of you guys are against legal immigration to an extent, you know, not completely against it, but to an extent you guys are against it. And I just wonder why, you know what I mean? I just want to know some valid reasons why, or just not even valid reasons. What do you guys think? Like the reasons why you guys think that it shouldn't even be a thing. But with that being said, my name is yedotti. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Peace.